Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's see where we're at. All right. So another beautiful day of trading. It's Friday. Looking over here on the scans. Um, Top volume mover is Rivian right now, only up 3%. So I'm guessing that there are movers down below $5 that are moving around. Yesterday, though, we had APM absolutely go crazy. It did not really have much news or anything like that. It was just going. And looking at the chart on it, let me pop over here to the chart. APM. Okay, so this thing, I mean, it took off in the open, came all the way up to $8 from what, $5. So a $3 move out of the open. And it did end up coming down and doing a setup or a pattern that I really like, coming right here to the ATRs and bouncing right above the ATRs here. The only thing that it was missing was the catalyst. I didn't have a reason. I was like, okay, this thing's coming down to the ATR, but I've seen before where it comes down to the APR, fakes like it's going to bounce and snaps downward. So I was like, I don't know if I want to take that trade, right? Um, and I was kind of just on the fence about it the whole day. Didn't really want to chase anything that I couldn't manage risk on. So I ended up getting into another stock yesterday, which was a mover, but it just did not get the kind of gas that I thought it could get. Let me go ahead and pull that up. It's called HEAR, which is here. And this one was Turtle Beach. Turtle Beach is they sell like um, earphones and things like that. They sell all kinds of audio devices for gaming and different things. And yesterday they actually released, or earlier in the month they released their earnings, and then yesterday they released that they were going to be acquiring another company and buying somebody out, right? So let's go look at that news real quick. Turtle Beach. Let's see, where is it? My quotes here. Okay. So over here, let's go to press releases. And their earnings wasn't bad. You know, I was like, oh, okay, their earnings are pretty good. They got a couple of good things going on. They had a couple of good and bad things in there, but we'll go over that. So they've been working with Xbox. They've been working with all these different either smaller audio companies or companies that service gaming all last year into the end of last year, coming into the beginning of this year. And this is the news that I was reading about. Turtle Beach announced its fourth quarter full year earnings. And they said, hey, this is our fourth quarter summary versus a year ago. The first thing that I saw, not reading too far, I was like, hey, the net revenue has decreased 1.3% compared to 109 or 100.9 million a year ago. Then I kept reading though, last year they were up 7.5%. So they only lost 1.3% off of a year where they were really, really moving. So I was like, okay, that's a little bit of good news. We'll see what happens there. And so let's jump back over to the more recent news from yesterday. So they were like, hey, we're going to be buying this company, acquiring a company. And it was acquisition. They said, hey, we're going to be between 13.75 and $15. And I was like, okay, dope. I want to see a test towards this 13.75, and I want to play it towards the $15. So that's what I did yesterday. So let's go over here to here, and you can see the top, the very top was 14.99 up there. And then down here, the play that I did was a ATR low break and recovery. Okay, so I waited first 30 minutes, saw it throw this wick down here, and I was still waiting. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure. And then it did this wick back down here again through the ATR, and then it made a higher low in the ATR, but I still was kind of questioning if it could hold up here. And so it came down all the way and just continued to hold ATR. And I ended up jumping in right at the 1402 on this green candle right here. So 1402, like right up in here. And I was looking for it to go up and touch the top side ATR around the 1450 would have been good. But even if it got to the 1425, I would have been happy with that. So my target was 1425, and it came up and I was like, okay, this thing's moving nicely. It's kind of grinding, but it's moving nicely. And it got up here and I was like, right up $100 right here. And I was like, okay, well, it hasn't reached my target yet, so I don't want to pull the plug just yet. But I got stubborn and I broke a rule. Usually I trade for only 2 hours, 9 to 11. And I saw that the time was coming to a close here. And I was like, it's not looking too good, because right here was 10:08 or 9:45 when I made the entry. And so a little bit more time, 10 a.m., 10:15, 10:30 was when it was at its apex. And I had 30 minutes left until the close of the time, and I held this and it dropped. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it'll retest. And it just came down here and kind of flatlined for a while. Now, I was right in the fact that, I was like, hey, I think 14 is going to hold. But I was wrong in the fact that I thought that it could get to 1415. Not 1415, 1450. So yeah, I just at that point was just managing risk. I had set my stop out down here on this candle to 1375, which was, if you remember, on this right here, 1375 was the bottom of where this price action was supposed to be. And so as it took time to get up and all of that stuff, I just continued to squeeze my little stop up, and it finally, I was following this ATR low as a stop out, and it continued to hold it and hold it and hold it, and it finally stopped me out right here on this counter where it dove through it, right here at the 1390. And so I was like, whatever. I did take a little bit of red loss, but it was a managed loss. So let's go look at that in the trade journal. Okay. So last 30 days, I've taken 11 trades. On this one, I entered at 1402 and got stopped out right. I got a little bit of slippage off of that 1390. I can make this a little bit bigger if y'all can't see it. Or maybe that's too big. 1390, got a little slippage. But I held this way too long. Way too long. I held this from 9 to 1. Usually I just close it at 11, just close it out. And I would have closed it for green if I just closed it out on time. I would have closed it for like a $20 green instead of the red, but it's okay, right? So these are my trades coming into here. This is my first red trade of the month. So we go over here to the calendar. Where's my calendar? Calendar. This is my one red trade. So last week, made a green, made a green, made a green. And this one, I just, should have just cut it. Would have been well above break even. Would at least been made lunch money, but whatever. I'm looking for the next trades. It's a trade that I would take over and over again based on the criteria that I saw for it. I was like, I really like this. And I like the setup ATR low break, which it completely broke and recovered. So I was like, okay, let's see if this thing. Plus, the other thing was how it was a low float. Like, it was a really low float. If we jump over here to this on HEAR. So the float on this one was 15.2 million. And that's why I was thinking, okay, this thing can ride 50 cents, right? It said $14. It can give me a pop to 50 or 14.50. I can take half and be holding. Now I took 600 shares on that. So I was going to take 300 at the 14.50 and see if it can ride and maybe test to the 15s, right? Or at least a little bit above 14.50. So that was the play there. It didn't have any shelf registrations or anything like that, but it had the catalyst on the day. So I went for that one instead of APM because I really didn't trust that setup that I like, which is the ATR break and hold on APM here. But it did it perfectly. Came down here right to the ATR at 650, which is still not a whole dollar level. I kind of like to see whole dollar levels there at the ATR. But that's 650, and it popped back up here to 710 and continued and got a little snap up here to 750. So a dollar move there off of that, but I just couldn't trust it with no news or no reasoning there. The second time it came down, it just went on through the ATR though. But that was later on in the day, and that was out of my trading time frame anyway. So yeah, yesterday was a little bit of a loss, 85 bucks, but my average winners are like 3 to 400, 500, something like that. So we'll just continue to press on and look for better plays next week. And it is mid-month. So, half the month I've taken, well, in this month I've taken 4 trades. 3 of them are green, 1 is red, and I just want to make sure that for the end of the month, I'm trading about 2 times a week, right? So if I can get one trade can make up for like 2 or 3 losses, right? So that's what I'm kind of looking at going into the future. I'm not really worried about it because it did meet my criteria. The other thing that I like about the trading journal, so I did add a note over here, and in my note, I wrote like what I was looking at during the trade and kind of how I was perceiving the trade at the time. And you can see in here, look, I just like this journal because it helps me to just revisit me on that day. So as I was going through the trade, as I was thinking, I was taking notes. I was like, hey, how am I feeling now? I just broke a rule, held through my time period. This could be bad, but let me manage the risk so it doesn't get stupid bad. Because if I let it pull down against me and then try to stop out, probably would have been down about maybe 150, something like that. So I was like, nah, it's just not worth it to take on more risk, especially if I've already broken rules trading outside of my time frame. So, you know, we're gonna be moving on and upward. I'm gonna read some of these chats. Good morning, Donnell. Good morning, Lori. Today is double quadruple witching. Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Today is quadruple. Today is quadruple witching. What is that? Let me see. Quadruple witching. Let's see. Quadruple witching. Let's see. Definition, how it impacts stocks. Quadruple witching, definition, and how it impacts stocks. Okay, what is quadruple witching? So the term quadruple witching refers to the simultaneous expiration for 4 times a year of stock options, index funds, and index futures options derivatives contracts. The fourth type of contract involved in quadruple witching, single stock futures, hasn't traded in the U.S. since 2020, and was never a. Did I read that wrong? Okay, let me look at this. That just didn't sound right to me. That didn't make sense. The term quadruple witching refers to simultaneous expiration 4 times a year of stock options, index futures, and index futures options derivatives contracts. The fourth type of contract involved in quadruple witching single stock futures hasn't traded since in the US since 2020 and was never a major contributor to equity trading volumes. What is now effectively triple witching occurs on the third Friday of March, June, September, December. Equity trading volume tends to rise on these days and is typically the heaviest during the last hour of trading as traders adjust their portfolios. Quadruple witching refers to, okay, we already saw that. We saw that. Okay, understanding quadruple witching. So basically, we can expect a little bit more volume to come in at the end of the day, I guess. And this is at Investopedia, where I'm looking at this on. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I guess because this is the month before taxes are about to roll out as well, that might be a impacting factor. All right. So today though, I was looking over here at the scans. Not seeing any low floats that are over 5 that are moving. Rivian is a top mover, only up 3%. Not impressive. So I'm thinking once the market opens, we'll probably see a lot of stuff under 5, getting up to 100%. But we'll see if anything is rolling. If y'all see anything under 5, definitely drop it into the chat and we can look at it. Um, it is Friday. You know, we've had a nice little week to get our little cushion and roll into the weekend. But like Lori said, this is a time in the market where things you need to know the seasonal changes, right? I didn't even know about that. I'm just out here chilling, out here just rowing in my boat, not knowing there's a cannonball on the way. So thank you, Lori. All right, so let's see. But yeah. Oh, the other thing I wanted to look at was meds. So meds put out um put out news. Open this. So MEDS, the other week it was moving big, moved all the way up to $30. Now the news on this though was that they were releasing a special dividend, and this special dividend is going to be happening on Monday, which I think is the worst time that it can be happening. It says that they're supposed to start this thing, announce the company's board of directors special dividend, and it says the special cash dividend is payable to stockholders of record as March 18th, which is Monday, with the dividend being paid on or about March. So it's supposed to, people are going to be in super expectation for this thing on Monday. $8 per share for that dividend. And then it's supposed to be paid on or about by March 22nd, which is Friday. So that whole next week for meds is going to be probably really, really wild. I've just kept that news and I wanted to kind of watch it. Meds has been in the news. It's been a big mover, and we can look over here on the chart edit. It's been a big mover in the past, but this dividend that they're giving, I just really think that people are going to take the money and run. They're not going to hold meds, and they're going to end up selling this thing down. And looking over here on the higher time frames, it just looks like it's going to be a cause for sell off. But we'll see next week if they even. I mean, because if everybody gets a hundred shares today before the weekend ends at $30, and then come Monday they're starting to expect that money. That's what 100 shares at $8 is $800 per person. So if you put in let's see, so it's $29 right now. If you wanted 100 shares, you would need to put out what 20. How much is that? 29,000. What did I just open? Calculator. So 100 shares times 29. So you put in $2,900 for 100 shares. I'm on the fence. I don't really know about it. I've seen a couple of these companies do this kind of thing where they'll say, "Okay, we're going to give you these shares for a dividend we're going to pay out, but the shares that you're going to get aren't really that good. So, good luck." And that's kind of how I'm viewing it. Like it's kind of like is this really good for the investor? Are they really going to be able to hold these shares? Or are we going to see this thing next week go back down to 20 or even $10 on a sell off? So let's look into SOUN. So looking over here on the scans, top top volume mover is wow, SQQ. So let's look at the SPY. We haven't looked at the SPY in a while. The SPY is looking like death, especially yesterday. Gee whiz. Dropping from 518 all the way down here to 512, bouncing back up, having a value level around 511 to 515, and still today looks like it's on its way down. It is Friday, so I don't know how many buyers will come back in to push it back up. But on the larger time frames, it is still looking very, very bullish. So I wouldn't get tricked up on some lower time frame just because it's coming down for a little bit. Has been very bullish. Okay, let's check let's check the Qs. QQQ having the same type of motion. TQQ, same thing. Wasn't there in SQQ? There it is. SQQ is doing the exact opposite. So it's doing the inverse of what the SPY is doing. It's coming down. SQQ is going up here to $11.09. Now, the Qs are a little bit less volatile, definitely less volatile than other things, depending on what the SPY is doing. If the SPY is volatile, the Qs will be volatile. And a lot of people capitalize on these movements. And you can see even out here on the SPY, you can see where it got an ATR hold, break, came down, held the ATR, bounced back up, came down, held the ATR. And this one is a little bit more, there will be a little bit more confidence in the Qs than in, some type of small cap for a pattern to resolve the way that you think it's going to resolve, right? Now, this one, I would say that this one would have kind of shook me up if it came down here, cracked ATR. I would have had to wait. Or no, I probably would have took that trade. And then as it came down back to the ATR, because if it does an ATR break and hold, it's not really supposed to come back to the ATR again, especially if it's a low float. It's supposed to continue to show strength. But sometimes you see them snap down again like this, throw wicks down there, and that's people getting stopped out, and then more money coming in above the ATR and pushing it higher. But yeah, interesting all around. Let's look at oil, or yeah, crude oil. Have not looked at this one in a while. Let's go over here to the larger time frame. Crude oil, let's see, it bounced again down there at the 68s on the monthly chart, bounced back into this mid area of the 85. I just haven't really, since I've been so focused on, these other strategies and setups and things like that, I just haven't had a chance to just really zero in on oil or any of the energy plays. I just have been looking and playing the particular small caps every day. So just, a lot of more focus there because it's making money. So, it's kind of, I guess, a business decision with the cost analysis, how much time I spend looking at other things, trying to create something new rather than focus on what I already have, right? But, maybe I can say I have been still buying dividend stocks that pertain to oil and gas, and natural gas and things like that. So I guess I'm still in it, but I'm not day trading it. I'm long term holding it. Anyway, we have about 6 minutes to the open. We should be getting a whole new population of on the scan, and we'll see what is going to get crazy today. Under 10 or under 5, I mean, because I'm thinking I don't see anything over 5, so I'm thinking it's going to be penny stocks today moving. Anyway, how's y'all's week been? Have y'all taken any day trades? Have y'all managed y'all's risks this week? Have y'all, analyzed the things that y'all have been kind of going through? And also, what kind of trading do y'all use? Trading journals? What kind of trading journals do y'all use? Because I've been using TraderSync for like since 2021 or 2022, like coming into 2022. It's kind of how I keep up with everything, and just keep everything in view, I guess you can say. I can do all of my setups. Where's my setups? Setups that I like. you know, um, and just have been pretty much wringing these two dry. The ATR break and hold, the ATR recovery, just been wringing them dry. Waiting for some more breast cancer news, see if they come out with some new drugs at some point. And rolling into the summertime, I was thinking about what things will people be buying that will affect the small caps? Like, will there be more vehicle purchases? Of course, people like to take vacations. They spend a lot more, and so I'm just in my head thinking, what's gonna be the next keyword that pops out that's like, okay, we need to attack this, you know? And also, how much do we need to attack this, right? Do I size up? Is it something that's like questionable? I don't know, you know. But yeah, interesting all around. Let's jump back over to where is it? All right, let's jump to the BBC real quick. So we got a guy whose kid was a gunman, and he was charged with manslaughter. And after a while, his dad was charged with manslaughter, so that's not good. Bees swarm a tennis court in Alcatraz, or is that right? No, Alcaraz. Okay. Bees turning up out here. Trapped by gunfire at Gaza hospital. People risk death to help the injured. What next as chaos and violence engulf Haiti? Okay. Australian farm grows the world's biggest blueberry. Okay. 20.4 grams, about 10 times the size of the average blueberry. Now, this is how superheroes are made. Uh, you know, I would call that definitely probably a devil fruit. Let's see. Baldwin lawyers want manslaughter case thrown out. What's up with all this manslaughter, man? What's going on? All right, let's go back over to business. HelloFresh denies taking money after accounts close. Sure. Whoa, I'm not registering for nothing. Um, Megan launches surprise new lifestyle brand. China attacks bandit logic of TikTok vote in the U.S. Irish pubs now offer more than just a pint. All right. What? Heinz Absolute, the unhinged product mashups. Okay. We got about 2 minutes to the bell. At this point, I'm just looking at what happens on Friday morning. I'm probably just gonna go on with my day. Um, and see, unless like something crazy pops up, which sometimes it does with it, especially with it being Bewitching Friday. The market open may not be the hottest, but we'll see if we see those randos pop up. All right, 8:29, 50 seconds left until the open, and we'll see what populates. Actually, I'm gonna start looking at the SPY, and wow, SPY continue to push down. Last time we looked, it was at right above 511, pushing down there to the 510 areas. Big drop off there. The control area is back up here around the 512 for it to re-enter that. But very big candle there on that motion on 15-minute. 10 seconds left until the open. And there's the market open. Lot of volume rushing in there right there at that bottom. Wow. Bounced up, hitting that ATR high. And I am waiting for something Low float to pop up, but not even seeing one thing that's really low float here. Good morning, Mike D. Yeah, I don't know. The spies, you know, the control area just moved all the way down from the 513s all the way down here to the 510s. And I'm guessing people are going to be shorting around this ATR high, especially into this. Look at how much downwards motion it is. Shorting that ATR high, looking for it to come back down to the 510s. Rivian is our biggest gainer right now, up 5%, which is insane. That this is the best we got above $5. Can we see something below $5 get crazy? Going back to 3%. Okay, now I see BTTX just popped up 104%. And I see Verb, which is both penny stocks. Here's my scanner over here. So 42 cents to up 200% just populated. And then BTTX 100% just populated. So relative volume on both of these is well above, 5. And this is above 2. So a lot of people are definitely watching these two. So we'll go ahead and throw these up here and see their motions on the day for these two. Let's see what the news. Is there any news on this one? I don't know. Verb and BTTX. Let's look into this. All right, Verb, what you got? Press releases. So Verb had news an hour ago. Verb's Market Live launches Facebook and Instagram social shopping technology integration. So that's their news on today. Then for this other one, BTTX, these are both over 100%. And Verb is looking like it wants to get to two. Well, it fell from 200%. We'll go back and look at it in just a minute. BTTX press release 23 hours ago. Better Therapeutics announced it will seek strategic alternatives and will be delisted from NASDAQ. Okay, so that's not the best news. And then the last news was March 5th, 10 days ago. They announced an innovative partnership with American College of Lifestyle Medicine to expand access to whatever this pharmaceutical is across 1,400 federally qualified health centers. Better Therapeutics announces acceptance of late breaking abstract for its whatever. Okay, so let's go and look at the charts. Looked like it fell a little bit. Let's see. Okay, so BTTX, right in the center of everything, center of the ATR. This ATR is what, 3 cents. So it should be, it's giving you the ATR high and low on this thing. Even though it's a penny stock, we can still calculate even with those small numbers. Let's go to Verb. Verb diving down here to the bottom ATR. Now this is how most of the plays that I do that are ATR low breaks and recoveries. This is what I'm looking for it to come down, crack this bottom ATR, and recover above it. And I'm looking for it to start to hold the next levels. Let me look on the daily chart, bigger chart here for Verb coming down here, and it's definitely recovering the daily ATR. The low ATR was 38, and we'll see if it can come back and start to get above this 38 level to move back up. But plenty of people definitely watching it. Not seeing anything else right now that's even close. BTTX is going to end up falling off the charts. It's under 100%, dropping. So not sure it's going to be able to hold. It's going to have to hold 100 to stay on this scanner. Verb with a quick breakdown, but remember we wait for candles to close, so we don't know if it's going to actually close up here or what. BTTX just got canceled off the scanner, so yeah. I'm also seeing, what is this? It just popped up. Oh, that's trash. That's nothing. Okay. All right. So yeah, Verb is the main one right now. Shares. Let's go look at the float on Verb. We haven't done that yet. Statistics. Remember, we needed to see that 38 hold up, and the 38 is holding up there above that ATR. The float is 15.88 million, and it does have the catalyst. So I'm sure people, if they can't find anything else, this is one of those days where people kind of search for something in the market, and this is the best we got. Shares float over here on FinViz says 24.47 million. Verb Technology. It is over 200, back over 200% at this point. The float is saying 24.47. So between 15 and 24. Let's go look at this one. See if it has any shelf registrations. No shelf registrations visible right now. And yeah, same thing, 24 million over here. So yeah, this is one of those that is pulled all the way back up, but this candle still has to close, you know. And really, it's about the time frame that you're used to playing on, right? So for me, I wait for the 15 minutes to close. For someone trading the 1 minutes, you could wait for 1 minute to close, or 3 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever. But it's just kind of, it's not really restricting yourself, it's giving yourself a little bit more time to think before you jump in there. But this one's coming into some indecision right here, right at the midpoint of this ATR at the 41. It did hold up. It has not truly tested the ATR high up here of 45 cents. But yeah, we'll see how it does on the next candle. BTTX is back over 100% as well. So right in the middle, held up the ATR, just kind of engulfed in the previous candle. All right, so coming on down, coming back to the ATR low. Will it close this candle below the ATR low? Looking on the higher time frame, we see that it's cracked back down. Usually that recovery, it's supposed to get up there and stay up there, but this is a lower price stock, so it may not respect these levels as much. It still has respect for them, but maybe it plays around them a little bit more because of the cheapness of the stock. BTTX going up there to test this ATR. Now, if BTTX holds out of the ATR, I think it's going to be the bullish one on the day. Verb not really testing up to the ATR, so I'm thinking BTTX is looking the most bullish, coming towards this 8 cents. And of course, this is the first 15 minutes, so it could do an ATR break, but it needs to pull back and show that it can hold the ATR for a continued bullish movement. So coming up here to this high right now. Getting a little selling pressure off of that ATR. And this one continued to kind of it's just an indecision candle right now. Kind of equal waves on it. but the sellers are definitely winning over here on the sell buy sell indicator. Sellers are winning on this candle in particular. 70 up, it's changed a little bit, 62% to 30%, so they're still winning by quite a margin. BTTX above the ATR high, so this is the ATR break, and we need to see it hold this level and not slash down through this level. It's 9 cents right now, going up to that high. May push through it, but that high is right under the 9.5. Let's see what it does. Okay, but it's looking a lot better than Verb right now when it comes to bullish behavior. Yeah, Verb going back towards the 38s again. Verb has 83 million shares traded. It is a lower float than BTTX, looks like. But BTX is getting all of the attention right now. Well, it looks like it. It's not actually, but it looks like it. They're trying to push that high there. Verb broke down to 38s again, so it's definitely looking bearish. Back under the ATR low. Had multiple chances to hold it for recovery, but of course this is only the beginning. And we'll see the value level low for this is the 28 cents down here. The 28 cents is a value level low. But remember, under the ATR, you pretty much are looking for bullish moves on bearish patterns. So if you see a bear flag and it pops up, hopefully you capitalize on that before it continues down. So we'll see on that one. BTTX coming back down to the ATR high. And it did the break, but man, that hold is looking real like a lot of clown work there. Slamming back from 9 all the way down here to the 7. We'll see how that closes. And now, because we wait for candles to close, we can see there's a little bit, a little bit more selling going on. Even on this, the buy sell indicator, look how much of this bar is red in comparison to green. Big sales right there. So we're seeing a little bit, and that's what I was saying. Based on on my scans, the relative volume is 29 times the normal for this stock. But if you look over here on Verb, it's 83 times normal. So there's more people interested in Verb because it has more range. But less volume, but more people are pushing this thing to being abnormal. All right, back over to the main, and let's jump back over to Verb here. See how this one closes. This 15-minute candle will be closing in just a little bit. We know that the majority of the volume, we can see it right here, was traded around 44 cents. And we're seeing, can it dive? Can it go and hunt for those orders down here below 32? Because right now it's kind of even in terms of trading there. From the 44 to down here to 34, 10 cents of movement. Can it recover this ATR low? Okay. BTTX. Candles will new candle will be forming in like 6 seconds. And this one's gonna be looking real wacky, like this big war zone between everything, ending in a almost like a short win, with it ending towards the downside of this candle down here. Okay, Verb open this new candle as well. Does it want to break to new lows below the 33.33 is the question. And if it breaks and reclaims, can it make a new high back into this control level? The control level, point of control right now is 37 cents that it needs to get back above to start dragging itself higher. If it keeps trading down here, though, the point of control will move down with it. Okay. BTTX. Okay. So it made a higher low, but it needs to close this candle. So we don't fall for any kind of, you know, junk here. It's got to close this candle, and it would be preferable if it closed above this ATR low. ATR low right now is 37 cents. If it can close above that, you know, it may be trying to transition to bullish, but it hasn't closed yet. Okay, we got one CDLX just popped up. This one's a little bit higher price. It did a ATR break. So we're seeing if it can do the ATR break and hold up here. So let's go and see what kind of news was on CDLX. It's got a couple minutes before this closes. Let's go look at this. CDLX. Carlytics. It is meeting my criteria, and let's see what kind of news it has though. Carlytic. Oh, this is some more earnings type stuff. Looking on the higher time frame, the monthly and all of that, it's been getting beat down, and it looks like it can make a little bit of move up here. Man, this would have been see, it's days like this. I'm like, oh man, I probably should have just waited on the trade that I used yesterday, right? But you know, it's whatever. Came down, tapped the ATR high there. There's the proven point there, ATR high, and now it's just got to close without breaking this down, without breaking the 1297 down. But it is the most bullish looking. If we look over here on the uh, scans, we can see the relative volume needs to get some more action, but it is above 5, and the relative standard deviation is above a 2. So it is abnormal, and so it definitely could give some moves. It's up 60%. Um, and let's go check that float out. Where is my float for CDLX? So on a regular day, if I'm coming in trading, you know, usually I don't make it to my charts until like 8, maybe 8:30, maybe right at 9. And I come in, and CDLX would have been the first thing I saw instead of Verb and all of this other stuff. CDLX, I would have just immediately focused on that one stock. Over here on my scans, it is the only stock meeting my criteria right now on this scanner. So that's how I kind of narrow things down like super quick. I don't need 12, 20, 40 stocks on the scanner that I want to, you know, focus in on. And just get one, you know. I'm not having to wade through a bunch of them, right? But let's check this float out on CDLX. CDLX, the float is looking like 36.27 million according to FinViz. We'll cross check that. CDLX. Okay, looking like 36 million over there. Shelf registration for February 2024. Well, the shelf registration came out in January and it was amended February. Okay, so let's look at this CDLX. Short interest for, where's your float? I don't see a float there on that one. Okay. But yeah, CDLX is, if I was gonna focus on one, this would be the one. It did break down the ATR, but this candle has not closed yet. Now, I do not like that it broke down the ATR. Usually I like it to struggle right at that ATR and get that nice bounce on the next candle. But we gotta wait for this one to close because it looks like there was a little bit of weakness at that ATR hold. Needs to stay above 1275 is where it needs to stay above. If you look over here on the pre-market though, the pre-market came, it popped up in aftermarket, 8 all the way up here to 11s, and then curled right before the open. And now this is where my scanner picked it up, looking at this ATR break and hold. Let me read some of these chats. Trucker 2B says, and we're back at it again. Thinking of dropping 450 in Rivian. Yeah, I saw Rivian too, popping up there. It gave quite a bit of a pop on the open, pop down. You know, I would say Rivian's always going to be a mover. I mean, like Daniel B and One Life, they study this stock. I mean, they know all the. Well, I think it's Daniel B. Daniel B studies this stock. Like he wakes up and he's like, I wonder what Rivian's doing today. It's like somebody that he cares about. He's like, let me go see how she's doing today. Let's go see. BTTX back under 100%, so we're gonna take that one off. Verb just continuing down. I'm guessing people are kind of fading towards CDLX because that's something that's above $5, something that people can put a lot of money into and kind of force it to do what they want it to do, force their will upon it, you know. So yeah, we're seeing it hold above this level, but it needs to close this candle though. Definitely some buying pressure around this ATR. So jumping up there a little bit, but this is the best looking stock to me based on, you know, what it's got going. Now, I did not look closely into the news though. So let me actually do that. Somebody just messaged me. Okay, 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 okay. All right, let me check this real quick. CLX, January, February. So it had grants under NASDAQ listing rules. Okay, CDLX. I want to see them talking about money. Okay, fourth quarter 2023. We got another one. JTAI popping up on the scans. Just broke over 100, but it kind of failed right once it got to 100%. It's $1.30. JTAI. So came up here for its ATR break. Does it have any news on the day? JTAI. Yeah. So let's see. JTAI press releases. Let me read these comments as well. Thinking of dropping 450 and Rivian to get my 9K back. Oh boy, I didn't read the rest of that. But then I'm working. I can always get that back. Yeah, when it first came out, I bought 10 stocks at 200, and I played myself, and then sold 125. It's at $11 now. That's how it is, man. It's an ebb and flow in the market, and sometimes calling the ball for yourself is. I mean, it can go either way. That's why you just manage the risk. Say, hey, this is what I'm willing. This is the risk that I'm willing to put on this. These are the factors of why I'm willing to risk this. Let's see it play. But yeah, this one hasn't had news since the 9th. So it announced a partnership was the last news that it had, and then it launched a reroute AI software to intelligently repurpose empty flight legs for 5,000 US Part 135 charter operators. That's not super. That's not super significant. I mean, think about you create a program that manages the empty seats on a vehicle for transport. I don't know. I don't know. That's. I don't know about that one. But I'll yeah, I don't know about that one. Verb trying to reclaim this little bottom, but I think CDLX it has got it. If it can hold it, oh, it's under the ATR. Needs to hold above this 1276 and close this. And this is why I wait for the 15-minute candles to close so I don't get trapped in something stupid. Look at this move from the high of 1396. We were looking for the ATR break and hold to happen. Did not happen. So we have to look for another setup lower. Maybe it does a retracement. Maybe it drops down. Now the value level that it's coming down into is at 1266 right there on the end of the value level. So it needs to really hold that, or it's going to end up moving this value level down instead of up. Usually things that are bullish, you'll see the value level jump. It'll stair step up, and the point of control will jump with it as more volume comes in. But look at all of this volume up here, and they want this thing going down. Look at this. Look at how much volume is up here, maxed out. So it's got a lot of almost empty space down here where they don't know what price it can fall down to. See, it's dragging it just drug the value level down a little bit there. So yeah, value level now moved from 12. The bottom of it moved from 1266 down to 1249. But yeah, that's not looking good for the ATR break and hold there because it did not do the hold part. All right, verb still at this point on verb. I mean, you could just be like, okay, if it holds over 33, you can use 33 as a low, but it does not need to see harsh rejection off of this ATR low because that could be some sellers stepping in. Plus, more volume came in down here. Now, at first, this was the biggest part that got traded. Now, more volume came down here, and it's showing us what this volume is doing. It's pushing the price up. So the question is, can this thing hold above the ATR low, right? And I guess the risk level here will be the 33. So you'll be risking about 5 cents back to the bottom if it can close above this ATR. BTTX still in indecision. Let's go look back and look at CDLX. So this is kind of how I go through them. First, I narrow down the list. And I already know I'm looking to trade things above 5 if it gives me the setup, right? This one, if it goes all the way down through the ATR low, that means nothing to me because I'm not looking for an ATR low recovery after you had all this time during the day. I'm looking for you to hold and go higher. But this thing is almost engulfing. It's almost an engulfing candle of this previous green. Under the 1250, it would engulf it. Got 2 minutes left and yeah, I pretty much have covered everything that's popped on the scans. Anything under $5, I really don't see it until it's over 100%. I really just don't touch those. They can be up, 1,500%, but they could be $200 or $2. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. That's why my scans are very, very, tightened, I guess you could say. But it keeps me from trading drunkly, so it's pretty good. Verb popping up here and actually holding this ATR low. But the question is, can it close this candle above this level? It has about a minute left to close this candle. We'll see where this closes. But this looks good and bullish on verb if you're into trading penny stocks. BTTX, just a lot of indecision. I don't really like that one. All right, so CDLX about to come into the close, but I don't like that it's already under this. I'm not too interested in that. I think it's going to be bearish. We'll see what verb wants to do though. Up to 40 cents on verb. At this point, you have to recalculate how you're going to manage risk because all the way down here is about 7. Well, at this point, 41 down to 33. It's almost 10 cents. So you have to remanage where you would risk here. But it did reclaim that ATR. And that is an ATR low break and recovery move right there. New candle just opened at the middle of the ATR. So, at this point, you have to make a decision. If it does a break over here of the 42, are you going to be in there for a retest of maybe possibly the 46? Let's go look at the other one. CDLX opened up its new candle under the ATR. I don't like that. That's a break of the pattern there. and we'll probably see that continue down. All right, so Verb is looking the most bullish here. So looking for it to break over this 42 level. That would be if you were scalping, 42, maybe it pops up to 43 or 46. That's a 3 cent scalp, but it's got to break that. And at this point, it's showing some downwards movement. So we'll see how far down it goes. Okay. So CDLX trying to get back past that ATR high, but with this big candle here, it just doesn't look good on the ATR. I'm thinking people are going to see what I'm seeing and it's going to go down. It's all about the majority rules, baby. There is no I in the market. We make money. If it ain't us, then. All right, BTTX dropping back down. Verb bouncing off of this mid level, mid ATR. It is the halfway point between the ATR low and the open price. And it looks like it's trying to do that 46 break over here. So we'll see there is a little bit. And there's the scalp to the next mid level. And there's the ATR high up here at 46. Can it get that? Right there. And there is the ATR test. It should find some selling right here at this ATR. Let's see. It should sell back down a little bit. Got that. People want to take profit. It just needs to hold this mid ATR right here at the 44 for the remainder of this. But yeah, it found selling there. Did the little pop out, whatever. And the ATR works on all prices. It's like, bro, use the ATR. It works. But that's the ATR break. And now people will probably be looking for the next pattern, which will be the break and hold for a move higher up here towards the 50 cents. This one just continues to look bearish. So failing to hold up that ATR, and yeah. But you need to know two things: the patterns and the setups, because they're not the same. Patterns are something that everybody can see. Setups are something that you and your variables have calculated, right? So if you can get a combination where everybody's seeing it and your setups in there, there's your trade. All right, but yeah, looking over, looks like Verb's gonna be the number one on the day with the way that it's looking, and still holding around this ATR like it wants to hold it. I'm thinking it's gonna hold it and try for that 50 cents up there. But quick scalps, baby. Quick feet eat. CLDX finding more and more selling pressure, looking like it wants to flip under this 1275. And like I said, this is a failure on this pattern of the ATR hold. So I don't expect that to be up much longer. Looking back over here on the scans though, CDLX is the only thing over 10% to the top side. We got a 10% mover down, but that's Adobe. Adobe is down 10%, but they don't pay a dividend, so forget them. Let them fall through the floor. Let's see. Reliable Rudy was telling me about Veil. He's been trying to get Veil. I told him I'm trying to get Veil at $10, and it continues to come down. I'm like, yes, come down. I start my position in that one. That is a dividend paying stock. My dividends, man, dividends are a blessing, man. Of course you got to pay taxes and all that, but look at CDL now. Look at CDL. Exactly what I said. More people are going to see, hey, this is a failed. Oh my gosh. Okay, so more people saw that this was a failed ATR break and hold than not, and it got a absolute monster drop through this level where probably all of the orders were right there at that mid level. Hey, I don't want to see this thing break 1275, and then boom, broke 1275 all the way down to the bottom. Let's go back up to Verb. It came down from the ATR as well, but that doesn't mean anything because this thing is just that bullish. These are just people taking profit. I think it'll be able to hold up. We should see this thing hold up. and retry that ATR break. Now this one is cheaper, so it doesn't have the range to just explode like that. So it's getting back up there to the ATR high right now with 224% up on the day. But anyway, I'm past my time. I need to go and answer some emails and things like that. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We just like to do case studies and analysis on what's going on in the market. Like I said, I've tightened things. My scans and things are very, very tight. So only see these things when they are abnormal. That's when I'm trying to see them, right? I don't really, if they're just moving, but they're not abnormal, I don't really want them. They're kind of just a waste of time for me. But yeah, next week coming in, I've taken one red trade this month. So 4 trades in total, one red, and looking to um, accumulate some more profit until the end of the month. And we got 2 weeks left. So, have fun and definitely manage your risk, man. Keep your risk managed and do some studying on patterns, patterns and make them align, or not make them align, but find the alignment with your setup. But yeah, that's it for me today. Appreciate you guys once again. Trucker to B, Donnell, Trading Verb, Lori. I saw Mike D. Shout out to everybody. GD, can't forget him. But yeah, that is it for me today. And as always, another beautiful Friday to not lose money and take good trades and just end the week without blowing your account, right? But yeah, that is it. Appreciate you guys. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Peace.